So we're gonna tie a wet fly here. I've got a size 12 curved hook. On my vise, I've got my 140 Ultra Thread black. I started the thread. Often for this fly, I want to leave some room up at the top, so I have more space for my hackle and stuff. So I start about, I don't know, quarter way down, loop down, do some touch and turns down there. And then I've got some tinsel here, and I am going to tie in my tinsel. So I got a tinsel tied in like so, and I'm going to tie it in pretty far here, and then wrap back up just so I can tie that in, and then reverse wrap with the gold side out. I want a gold tag on this one. So a few wraps, not too many, and then I go up, and then I'm going opposite spaces. So I'm holding with this hand, pull this one around, and latch it in. And then I come at it from the other side as well. So I pull it back as well. This stuff can be slippery, so I really get it in there a few different times and snip it off. And then we're gonna just kind of smooth that out. So then what I'm gonna do on this one is I want my body to be rather big, so I'm gonna build up using thread. And I'm gonna use the opportunity to really go over that tinsel as well. So I'm just wrapping the shit out of it to build up some body here. And we're gonna put our peacock over that. So I've got a nice little tapered body here. I'm happy with that. I got my strong peacock hurl here. I'm gonna pull off. I like to use 2 strands. I did recently learn a trick about to do a dubbing loop with peacock hurl to make it stronger, but I'm not going to do that today. I am going to show you how to do a dubbing loop with just dubbing, so that will be up here in a second. But for right now, let's just straight tie in our peacock hurl. Get over there. Okay, so this stuff is really fragile, which is where I really will start using the dubbing loop technique, but I'm not super comfortable with it yet myself, so I'm not going to show you. So we've got it tied in there, and then we're going to reverse wrap our peacock in there. And suckers aren't doing what I want. I'm going to twist them a little bit to get them back together. There we go. Okay. So we're just building up, continuing to build up our body, our buggy little body. Okay, and then back with our thread, and you don't need to, one loop and you really got it in there. But we'll do a couple more, and then again, I pull it back to really secure it in. There we go. Okay, and I'll do 1 or 2 more because I'm going to build now a dubbing loop. So there's better videos than mine, and I'm using black thread with a black t-shirt, so this is not going to be the best video probably to learn a dubbing loop, but I'll somewhat slowly go through it. So let's try to zoom in a little bit for better. So here's, I don't know if you'll be able to see this even. So I got a little, we're just going to do a little dubbing loop. So you make a loop here, wrap over, and then slide it over to hook it in there. And then to get the top feeling right and tight, So, which is always a problem. It's got this top bit being tight. I spin my thread around my loop, and then a couple more to latch it in. And then I have my dubbing tool. So here's my dubbing tool. These bottom, I like this style. There's a lot of styles, but these bottom hooks I really like. So this will go in to keep our, first, to keep our space separate there. And then I'll put some wax on my thread. I'm going to do that now because I always forget it. If I keep making these videos, you'll realize that that's the thing I forget the most. Okay, so we've got our loop ready. Let everything hang out there. And we are using just straight up dubbing today. Some green dubbing. And probably pulled off a little bit too much there. So this is the hairline most popular colors. And I refill this box. It has a great way to pull out the dubbing, but I refill it. This is, I think this is just green. Is that what it's called? Oh, Caddis green. Perfect. So, since we're just using dubbing, we're not doing anything fancy here with our dubbing loop. I just do it with my fingers, and I have a little clip here. This is not doing how I want it to go today. Okay, so my dubbing's all ready. Pull back, open up a little bit here, and open up and slide my clip in and snip down. Now, did that get it how we want it? Not totally. So I can pull some threads, some fibers through. And I had too much up here. Pull that back. Okay. Space it out the way I want. That's going to be too much as well. Space it out. And like I said, this is a little dubbing loop. So, okay, so then before I start turning, I'm going to pull towards myself and then turn. And this reduces, this keeps your tension and reduces it spinning around and getting all bunched up. Now, I don't want this one, I want this one really buggy, so I'm not gonna make it too tight, to be honest with you. And because it's such a little dubbing loop, I often will take my hackle pliers and pinch down here and use that to wrap around. But because this is so little, I'm just gonna do it right here on the spinner. So we're gonna reverse wrap, come right in to that peacock, and okay, and then I'm gonna wet my fingers real fancy, my spit, so I can pull the fibers back. And this gives me a little bit buggier sense, and keeps my fibers, I want my fibers going back towards the hook, away from the eye. But they're just little fibers. This is not big fibers. We're not fishing big fish with this little 12, so. Okay, well, it looks nice and buggy. So then I'm going to come in and I'm going to tie that in, just hook it in like if it was anything else. And I'll maybe do learning how to do dubbing loops changed the way, and I just cut it off. So let's cut it off and put my dubbing tool away. Learning how to do dubbing loops has changed and revolutionized my fly tying. Okay, tie it in there a little bit. I like to make sure you don't just breathe everywhere, because then you're going to get feathers everywhere. So I do like to give a little breath on there. So this is a feather from one of my chickens. It just fell out and was in their coop. I sometimes go out there and look for a few feathers. So this one looks like it's from our chicken named Tituba. She's a beautiful hen. So I'm going to tie in. I tie in the tip. You can tie in really either going from the back or going from the front. For these little wet flies, I tie them so that my smallest fibers are going to go in the back, and my longest fibers are going to go towards the eye. And the reason I do that is because it builds up a little bit more on the body and poofs them more. I don't know if there's a technical term for that, but and I am going to reverse do this. There we go. And we're off. I kind of feel sometimes. And just keep pulling the fibers back. These little feathers from my chickens at home are sometimes very fragile, so I try to be careful. I like how that turned out. Okay, so here I am. Now I'm going to tie in my hackle the same way I've tied in everything else. There we go. I just keep it on the pliers for a second while I tie it in. And I am going to go over the feathers because this is a wet fly, so I'm really going to push it back, and that's going to also help me build up my head here. And I don't want a huge head, but I want a head. So snip this off, snip, and then I still got too close to the eye a little bit, but that's okay. Just push it back a little bit. And then we're going to do a wet finish. 3, and I like to do 2 whip finishes. Okay. Whip finish a little awry, which is why we do 2 of them. My feeling is if I'm going to build up the head of my fly anyway, might as well make it useful with a wet finish. Okay, it's on there, snip, and then use a little bit of our Bug Bond UV Cure. I just do a little bit on my bodkin here. It just really keeps that sucker tight. You can use head cement, you can use Sally's. I like a little UV Cure. Clean off your bodkin and hit that with the UV light. And there you go. It's a nice little buggy wet fly. You can fish this Tenkara style or with your regular Western rod. I will probably do both. And yeah, there you go. Simple little buggy fly. If you like this, please subscribe to our channel. I'm posting a lot more fly tying videos. You can also follow me on Instagram. A lot of fly tying stuff on my Instagram, which is @glaze0101. That's GLAZE0101. That's me with my fly tying stuff. I don't put as much on our Queer Homestead site Instagram, but here on Glaze0101, you can see a lot more photos of flies I've tied, and I'll be doing more and more videos. So enjoy.